Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Sorry if you can hear a lot of noise in the background. They are doing some intense construction work right next door. But anyways, today I was ready for a bit of a more laid-back video. And I also have some items of clothing that need repairing. So I thought I would combine the two. Recently, Rachel Maxey did a video like this where she responded to people's assumptions about her. And after that, the tag, do people still call this tag? Or am I just completely stuck in 2010? It kind of went around all of CostTube. So I'm just gonna jump on the bandwagon and do one of those as well. Ask you guys to send in any assumptions that you had about me. And while I do that, I'm gonna mend some broken clothing. So the first thing I'm gonna repair is this skirt. It's one of my favorite skirts. It is calf length, black, very easy to combine with pretty much anything. And the zipper is broken, completely broken beyond repair. So I need to just put in a new zipper. This seems like a task I don't have to focus on too much. So let's pick out an assumption to go with that. You are a jack of all trades. So good at many things, but not necessarily outstanding. Oh boy. Yeah, I think that is very true. I definitely think of myself as a jack of all trades, master of none. Usually when I try something for the first time, I can do it, but then there isn't really anything that I ever get really good at. There are many things I'm not good at. Also, by the way, as a good general rule, I am good at fine motor skills. Anything that has to do with like moving my body, doing sports and things like that. Nope, I am very clumsy when it comes to those things. That's one zipper off. Someone assumes I eat really healthy food. I think I have a balanced diet. I think my diet is definitely healthy enough. It's not something I am hyper focused on. I do eat a lot of processed mock meat. That is something I really enjoy and I eat that very often. And also savory snacks like crisps and potato things, potato fries. Those are my vice. I really enjoy those and I eat those very regularly. You seem to be a very calm person, but you really are very stressed. Yes. Yes, I get stressed very easily. I get overwhelmed quite easily. My adaptability leaves something to be desired. I do tend to be unnecessarily stressed. Let's put it that way. And that calmness that I guess I portray is something that I have to make a lot of effort towards. Not to say that it's fake. It's not something that comes to me completely naturally. It's something that I aim towards a lot and that I want to keep at the forefront of my mind. It's also something that I enjoy putting out there, I guess, into the world, a calm energy, but I'm definitely not always calm myself. Okay, I need to focus now to put in my new zipper. Let's wait this one out. You never sold out on YouTube, and that's why you don't have millions of subs. I think the best way to gain subscribers many times is to do collaborations with people, and I haven't really done those. Mostly because there weren't that many people in my area who make similar videos to mine. And also, I am very socially awkward. I won't ask for a collaboration very easily. Maybe they just mean making more, commercial videos. I don't necessarily think that's the reason why I don't have millions of subscribers. I have different theories about that. People guess your age wrong all the time. Yes, I actually got ID'd this morning for trying to buy some Prosecco. I am 28, by the way. Legal drinking age over here is 18. Honestly, I don't really understand that because maybe I look a little bit younger than my age, but I don't think I look younger than 18. But it happens nearly every single time I try to buy an alcoholic beverage. It's mostly in real life. People tend to think I'm younger than I am. You have a great singing voice. Now that I absolutely do not. Singing is the one thing I just cannot do. I cannot. My singing voice is horrible. I tried to record myself singing once as a teenager, and that cured me. I do enjoy singing though, when no one's around. You would very much like to move into the countryside and read books under a tree in your garden. I want to say yes, but this is a very real life dilemma we are going through right now. I've talked before about how much I would like to buy a house or some type of property very soon in the near future. But we need to figure out where we're going to move, of course. My fiance and I both grew up in the Amsterdam area, which is one of the most expensive areas of the Netherlands currently when it comes to housing prices. They are absolutely insane, and prices are slightly better in the countryside. I would absolutely love to live in a place with a garden and with forests and places I can go for walks that aren't parks. Yeah, just have a lot more nature and kind of space around me. I would absolutely love that. Outside of the house, but inside the house as well. Our current apartment is 45 square meters, 40 to 45, which is very tiny. After having been locked in here, obviously throughout all of COVID, I really long for more space. But on the other hand, and that is kind of where the dilemma sits in, our entire social network is here in the Amsterdam area. All our friends, all our family, everybody lives here. So if we were to move away into the country, we would kind of lose everything we have. Dramatic as that sounds. Depending on how far away we move, we run the danger of just being too far away for visits and things like that. Netherlands are a very small country. You can drive from literally one end of the country to the other in 3 hours, but that does mean that people aren't used to traveling far. Someone who lives half an hour away is very far away. If I could just get everyone to move with us, that would be perfect. It's a tough decision and we haven't made it yet. So I will keep you updated, of course, on how it goes. Could go either way at this point. You are awkward around other humans and prefer the company of your rats. It depends, I guess. I really enjoy the company of people I am familiar with and like. Horrible as it sounds, I don't always really enjoy meeting new people. It's scary to me, takes a lot of energy, and it's just not something I love doing. But I do genuinely love being around my friends and family. I guess this one is partially true, partially false. You always have your room clean, even when you were younger. Absolutely not when I was younger. In fact, I hated having a tidy room. I felt more comfortable and safe in my mess, organized chaos, I guess. I always knew where everything was, but I enjoyed having everything scattered around me and living amongst my things. Ooh, that was a gem for people who hate how my voice goes up and down. Amongst my things. That changed when I moved out of my parents' house, strangely. I think it's because I had the whole space to myself at that point, and I was the one responsible for everything. That is when I switched from super messy to fairly tidy, but definitely wasn't always like that. So I got both the assumptions that I am bisexual and asexual. I am neither. You sometimes feel like you want to try non-vegan meals. Well, yes, strictly speaking, yes. I am not strictly vegan. I eat mostly plant-based at home, nearly always, but when I feel like eating something vegetarian, I won't deny myself. So I do occasionally eat vegetarian meals or vegetarian products. I never eat meat. I don't feel any desire to do that. Even though veganism is more and more normal and accepted in society, it can still sometimes make life very difficult in certain situations. And for me personally, the way to be able to stick to being as vegan as possible is to deal with it this way, to accept vegetarian food occasionally. You feel stuck nowadays in life. Honestly, maybe yes. I think maybe I do. It definitely has to do with the pandemic, of course, bringing life pretty much to a halt for a whole year. But also, I mentioned the housing crisis, which is something that is very present in my life at the moment. And the fact that it's so hard to find another place does make me feel a little bit stuck in that way. And also, you know, just not having been able to do things for pretty much an entire year. Right before COVID hit, I was on this kind of personal development journey, trying to deal with my social anxiety, and I was taking huge steps in that, like trying to get comfortable with meeting groups of new people, interacting with strangers, trying to enjoy meeting strangers and things like that. I was taking really substantial steps and getting further with that than I ever had in my life, and then lockdown. In that regard, I also feel a little bit stuck. I'm just very ready to make a couple of steps in my life that I can't at the moment, and that is frustrating. But I know that I just have to be patient. You are generally a quiet person and hate being the center of attention. I am definitely generally a quiet person, that is very true. I can quite enjoy being the center of attention in some very specific settings. Mainly, I have to know about it beforehand. I don't like being put on the spot, but strangely enough, I love performing. I love being on stage. I quite enjoy presenting in front of people. Yeah, when I know that, you know, I'm gonna have a moment, I guess, in the spotlight, I can really enjoy that actually, and I don't mind that at all. But I also want to do a little Aragorn sometimes and remain unseen if I want to. And thankfully, I'm pretty good at that as well. You prefer staying home rather than going out. Yeah, I am generally a homebody, but, you know, even for me, it has been a bit too much now. At this point, I feel like I would much rather go out than stay at home. Again. You feel like you can express yourself better in English than in your mother tongue. This is an interesting one. I guess this very much depends on what you would consider my mother tongue. I was raised bilingual, and then a third language was introduced at a very early age. I think I was about 7 when I learned my third language. I can express myself much better in English than I can in Slovak. Absolutely, but I definitely don't express myself better in English than I do in Dutch. Dutch is my dominant language. I don't know if that's the official linguistic term for it, but Dutch is my dominant language, I guess, and that is the one I'm most comfortable expressing myself in. That's the one I feel I can express myself in best. The moment of truth. Okay, we're good. We have a zipper. I just need to finish off the edge, but I think I'm gonna put that off and start working on the next item of clothing. These vintage trousers, which I know you guys love and I do as well. They are true vintage, got them at a vintage store, and they have a tear in an awkward place. Yeah, so it's time to patch that up. Actually, I'm just gonna sew it closed. I don't think it needs very extensive repairs. You aren't a picky eater, but you still prefer nostalgic, comforting foods that are familiar. Very true. I like a lot of food, but I definitely have my favorites that I make over and over and over again. If I was just living alone, I probably would eat the same meals every week. Horror movies can be a bit much for you. That is very true. Actually, for a long time, I was very sensitive to any type of thrilling movie, I guess. Something with a lot of suspense, not to mention gore. I actually started actively working on desensitizing myself. It sounds a bit ridiculous, but it did work. Honestly, it did work. Watching them more and more, and kind of starting with the less scary ones and then working my way up. At some point I stopped because it became too much. And now there is a level, I know what level of suspense and gore I can take and when it's too much. Watching horror movies isn't something I necessarily enjoy. Honestly, I don't think it ever will be. You sometimes consider switching careers from YouTube. Yes, honestly, yes, sometimes I do. I absolutely love my job as a YouTuber. How do I put this? My channel a little bit unusual in the way that the amount of views I get doesn't really match up with the amount of subscribers that I have, and the numbers of views I do get fluctuate a lot. Lately, over the past couple of years, luckily I have had some steady returning sponsors that have made this job more secure for me, but there is still a lot of uncertainty and a lot of variation that I don't have an influence over that can be a bit scary. And in periods when things are worse, view counts are worse, I can panic a bit and feel like I might have to start looking for a different job. So it is something I have considered in the past, but never something that I actually set into motion. Usually things straighten out. It's a wave, you know, it has its ups and downs, but it always comes back up again, or at least it has so far. So fingers crossed it will keep doing that. I would be lying if I said I hadn't considered it, but only if I were forced, not because I no longer want to do this job. Sometimes I can struggle a bit with coming up with ideas because I have been doing this for 12 years. It definitely is a job now, rather than a hobby like it was in the beginning. So many great sides to this job that I don't think there is any job I would be happier in at the moment. Okay, my trousers are finished. That was a much quicker fix than the dress or the skirt, and you can't tell at all. Oh, I love those. That's my favorite type of fix. My Son de Floor dress, which is absolute perfection. I love it. 2 pieces. I don't think you guys understand how much I wear this. I have a little bit of thread coming loose along the bottom here, so I just want to fix that really quickly. I think I'm just gonna tack down white bit on the inside. I think that will be the most inconspicuous way to make sure that this doesn't tear any further. You curse a lot. Not a lot, I think, and only ever when I'm with friends. You prefer pizza over burgers? Absolutely not. Burgers all the way. Pizza is okay, but I much prefer burgers. You don't like loud noises and wish that the construction next door would cease. I am actually very sensitive to sound. It's pretty annoying. I am taking it pretty hard, this construction right next door. I tend to switch between noise cancellation headphones and just those squishy earplugs throughout the day. I know it needs to happen, I need to finish it, so just gonna have to buy a house then. You have traditional values. Okay, so, I would say I maybe have more traditional preferences for myself. But that's the important part. That's the most important part for myself. I wouldn't dream of telling anybody else what they should do and how they should live and what values they should have, I guess. I very much believe that as long as you don't harm anybody, you should be free to do absolutely whatever you want. Live your life however you want, whatever you feel is best and most comfortable and most enjoyable to you, practicable of course, and I absolutely do not have an opinion on how other people should live their lives. I myself am quite comfortable with some parts at least of more traditional living, but I wouldn't say that those are necessarily my values. I think those are more choices, and I very much view them like choices. Does that make sense? I don't know. Alrighty. Piece of skirt successfully attached. Again, you can barely see it, which is great. And you can't tell from the outside either, so that is good as well. So I think I'm just gonna move back to that first skirt and finish that zipper properly while I answer the last couple of assumptions. You are the oldest child. Yes, that I am. I have 1 younger brother. You don't usually get mad easily. Actually, I do, but I don't show it. I think that goes for emotions in general, honestly. I feel a lot very deeply, but I will only reveal that to the people who are closest to me. So yeah, I do anger, maybe a little bit too quickly, but you would never know. If it's bad enough that I show it, it's very bad. I need a thimble for this thick bit of fabric. I have made this mistake 1 too many times. Oh, this might be a pliers job. Trying to sew through several layers of zipper and fabric. You don't know what you'll do after YouTube. After quotation marks. That is true. I have a couple of ideas. Everything would require me to go through some sort of education or training. For those of you who don't know, I studied Celtic languages and culture, so there aren't any direct jobs that come from that. I've only ever been a YouTuber, but I don't think I could compete with people who have studied media or videography or anything to stay within a similar field after YouTube. So I think I would have to learn something else. I might enjoy going into programming. I think that would be fun, but I'm honestly not sure, and I just hope there won't be an after YouTube for now. But if there is, I'm sure it'll be fine, and there are plenty of options for me. You seem like a very joyful person who always looks on the bright side of things. I wish I was that, but no, I am very much a pessimist. It is also something that I'm trying to work on, but how do you just not be a pessimist? I try to be cheerful, but it can be hard for me at times. I have to be very conscious of when I'm doing it. Definitely doesn't come naturally to me. You want to make different kinds of videos now and then and fear how it might be received. Maybe. Yeah. I tend to want to make the type of video that I enjoy watching at the moment, and that doesn't always go with the niche of my channel. Sometimes I try it and it doesn't work at all. Sometimes I try it and it works out surprisingly all right. My sewing content went down well, which I'm very happy about because I really enjoy doing that. And some other types of, unrelated content don't do well at all, such as vlogs. I know the people that do watch my vlogs absolutely love them, and I'm very glad about that, but they perform so badly on my channel. Honestly, I don't really let that hold me back. I will just do the odd unrelated video every now and then. Last one. You have had more crushes on fictional characters than real people. I never really realized this, but I think this is true. I think, yes, I think that is true, actually. Wow. Oh boy, is that embarrassing? I don't know, maybe a little bit. Let's see how that zipper turned out. Yay! Oh, I'm so happy I can wear this skirt again. I really missed it. Alrighty guys, but that is it. I'm gonna end the video here. I suspect it is incredibly long. I think I've been filming for over an hour. Yep. I'm gonna get to editing. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sending in your questions. And oh gosh, guys, thank you so much for all of the super nice and sweet compliments and assumptions that I got. Honestly, you are way too kind. I was expecting many more kind of juicy assumptions, but the overwhelming majority was just super, super nice. So thank you so much for that. If you did enjoy this video, I say as I'm trying to close my dangerous seam ripper, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for lots more beauty, lifestyle, fashion and sewing content. If you'd like to support me through Patreon or my merch store, there are links in the description box below. Thank you so much for your support. There is another video here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you for watching and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!